Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-December 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Capricorn. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But with that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at the remainder of the month. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing note, and a healing crystal for you. Let's take a look here. Our first card is friction. Friction oftentimes means that there was some sort of conflict, Capricorn. So I imagine in the last few weeks or month, there was some sort of friction, some sort of conflict going on for you. But let's take a look and see what other messages we have coming through here. Oh goodness, let me see if I can scoot you into the picture here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Perfect. Sorry, Capricorn, just adjusting here a tiny bit. Okay, the first card that we have is the Death card. I always like to point out that the Death card does not actually mean death, but it does indicate a transformation, a change. It's an ending sometimes. It's oftentimes an indicator to move on to something new. We're going to clarify this a little bit further, but it does feel like there's something wrapping up and coming to a close for you. So you can move on to something a little bit bigger, better, brighter on the other side. The next card that we have is the Five of Wands. Again, not surprised to see the Five of Wands given the friction card. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. I always say this is like bump in the road. So I do think this is the conflict that the friction is referring to. And so it does seem like there was some sort of incident or scenario in the last few weeks or month. At the bottom here, we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. It's very much so like work smarter, not harder. One thing I like about this, though, is your hard work is paying off. So if you haven't felt that already, you're definitely making good progress and you're going to reap the benefits of that hard work. Let's take a look and see if I can clarify anything a little bit further here for you, Capricorn. The first card that we have is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a tired card. It's a card of needing to rest, retreat, renew, recover. I think there's something in general that you're just burnt out of, and that's what's wrapping up and coming to a close for you. And I actually really like this because rather than just being burnt out, Capricorn, you're going to make the change. So this is good to see. This change is going to be really positive for you. It's going to really revive you. I will say, since we're going into the end of the year with this kind of tired energy too, just make sure you are resting, renewing, recovering. Get some good quality time off, quiet time going into the end of the year. The next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. This seems to be more speaking to that Eight of Pentacles you're referring to, again, reaping the benefits of your hard work. One other thing though, so this is like solo pleasures. This is kind of being alone. So as a result of this conflict or this friction, you may have kind of pulled back and kind of, I don't want to say isolated yourself, but possibly distanced yourself from that situation. Then at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of speed, action, quick change. Again, if you haven't reaped the benefits of your hard work yet, that's going to happen for you. Whatever it is, it's coming really quickly. Or you might have started to get news of how you're going to start being benefited or rewarded for that hard work. Okay, Capricorn, now let's take a look at our next column, which is just general, what's coming for 2020, what's coming for the end of December, so the remainder of December 2022. We have the card Brilliance. I love this. This is going to end on a really high and positive note. This is a reminder of your brilliance, and this is an indicator that you're going to have a really good, really brilliant next few weeks here, Capricorn. So like that, ending the year strong. Let's see what other messages we have, though, coming through here. The first card that we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords has a lot of different meanings, but you're wanting to move away from something. I think this could be a continuation of the Death card in the transition, but you really want to be done with something. This is like you're gathering up your stuff and you're like, okay, I'm ready to move on. We're going to clarify and see what other content I can provide you there, Capricorn, but like I said, you're really done and over something here. The next card that we have is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is desire. It's desire for long-term security. It's desire for wanting something you don't have. Again, I think you're really over whatever situation, and this is kind of the new that you want. You want to be done with that current situation and move on here. At the bottom, we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety, grief, worry. You see this person's sitting up in bed, nightmares, worried about it. Again, we're just really bothered by this one thing and we want it to be done and over with. Perhaps though, we haven't fully moved on from the situation because we're not sure what the next step is, what the next move is. But let's go ahead and take a look here and see what information we can provide. The first clarifier we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of respect, leadership, strategic planning. I want to hone in on strategic planning because this is future focus, making moves for the future. I do think that it is time to move on. There is something brilliant waiting for you here, Capricorn, and we want to make sure that we go and get it. I think there could be a lack of respect too in the current situation. The Emperor is very much so about respect. So I think it's a fair assumption that perhaps there's a lack of respect, and again, that's driving or motivating you to move on. The next card that we have is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is very generous. And this is a card of giving or receiving. And in this case, I do see you receiving what you want. I do see you fulfilling that desire. But again, we need to make the move on it. I think it's good to move away from whatever this is that's bothering you. Like I said, long term, that seems like the right move as well. At the bottom here, we have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is a card of balance and harmony, definitely. So when we move on, we're going to really feel this balance, this harmony restored, moderation, patience. You're just kind of in a weird spot, and the best way to do it is to move forward out of that weird spot. So I would encourage you, Capricorn, to get away from whatever this is that's bothering you. Again, there's so much potential for brilliance here. This new opportunity moving on is going to be a brilliant choice. So anyways, let's move on to our next column though, which is anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. I did just get this new deck of cards, which is money, tips, tricks, advice. We're going to start with that. This card says, whether you receive money with a frown or a smile, it doesn't change the value of it. However, the energy you hold during the time you spend with money can determine what it can do for you. Okay, so again, this column is job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really whatever you associate with money, Capricorn. The first card that we have is the Ace of Pentacles. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Pentacles, this is job, raise, promotion, investment, some sort of new income. With the Ace of Pentacles, it just seems like there's some new money coming in for you. I'm trying to figure out if this is the same shift or not. For some of you, I think it is, and others of it you won't be. Some of you, I think you're frustrated with your job and seeking a new job. For others, though, that may not be that desire we were just speaking about. The next card that we have is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups has a lot of different meanings, but one of them is gift. And I do see this new job, this pay, this promotion is coming in as a gift. You almost don't expect it. Even though you want it, you don't expect it. So it's almost like a surprise gift here. You could be getting reconnected with somebody that you know previously too, because this is a card of reunions. At the bottom here, we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident, very self-assured. More than anything, I feel like you need to know exactly where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want to be doing, Capricorn. That's the message I'm getting. Be clear on who you are, what you want, where you're going. Okay. Looking at our clarifiers, the first card we have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of celebrations. If you look at the top here, this looks like a finish line too. So this is like a card of completion, a card of celebration. It does seem like we're going to be celebrating this new opportunity, which is really exciting. This is also a card of family and friends. This too is a card of reunion. So we've had a couple cards saying reunion. So I do definitely think you're going to be getting reunited with somebody in terms of career. But I like this. Again, celebrations with this new opportunity, that new money that we have coming in. The next card that we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a very bold and powerful card. There's a chance that you'll be moving into a leadership role, but also in terms of reunions, it could be like somebody you formerly worked for, so it's like an old boss or mentor. Again, it seems like somebody was in a position of power, so potentially a former leader. This is also a reminder to have courage and be brave and pursue this new opportunity and pursue this reunion. It's kind of like that extra nudge that you may need there, Capricorn. At the bottom here, we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is very studious, very hardworking. I do see it being kind of a busy remainder of the year for you in terms of work. I see you heads down working pretty hard. But that's not a bad thing. Again, it's helping us accomplish the things we want, especially if we're switching jobs here. It might be kind of a weird time to switch just with the end of the year, but it doesn't mean that you can check out an old job or a new job, old position or new position. So just keep that in mind. Moving on though, let's take a look at our next column. Similar to the money card, I did get a new love deck of cards. So let's see what your love message says here, Capricorn. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. In this column, we're going to talk about anything related to love, family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love, Capricorn. The first card that we have is the Four of Wands. We were just talking about the Four of Wands there next to it. The Four of Wands is a card of celebration, so I do think you're going to be celebrating something in terms of love. You may be going to like an engagement party, baby shower, something of that sort. It could also just be spending the holidays with friends and family though. I do see you surrounded by friends and family, which I love to see, especially going into this holiday season. So get out there and enjoy your people. In terms of celebration though, again, I feel like there is a love celebration, perhaps an engagement party, maybe even a wedding going into the end of the year, but some celebration related to love there. The next card that we have is the Devil card. The Devil card is a card of greed, envy, materialism, obsession. This is going to be an interesting... What I want to say here, Capricorn, is like there's something that is not as it seems. Like you don't see all the information, so you're kind of like obsessing or worrying about something, but it's not what you think it is. So obsession's kind of what's coming into play here, and it's like you're really concerned with, if you're in a relationship, it seems like the person you're in a relationship, like there's something that happened that bothered you. But again, I don't know that you have all the context, but it's like you're very focused on this one event. And bothered by this one event, and that's bringing up kind of that devil energy. The next card though we have is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of speed, action, quick change. It's also finding out news. So it's like you're upset about something, but then, and you're like really thinking about it a lot with the Devil card, but then you find out news and you're like, oh, it's not really what I thought it was. So make sure you're collecting information. Try not to, in general, like have obsessive or hyper-focused thoughts. I realize that's easier said than done. But again, it just seems like there's something that you're thinking about a lot that's really bothering you, and then you're going to get the information and you're like, oh, it's not what I thought it was. So just keep that in mind. Let's clarify though and see what other information I can give you here. The first card that we have is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is very spiritual and intuitive card. It is though like a card of mystery and secret. So again, there's like information that you don't have in the exact moment and information you need to gain. So while you're waiting to find out all you need to find out, try not to be too caught up in your thoughts and too upset, too much of those devil type feelings. But again, trust your intuition to navigate you through. Doesn't take away from the Four of Wands. Again, get out there, enjoy your friends and family. The next card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, obstacles, challenges. I like to call it small bumps in the road. Like I said, I could see this causing conflict because it's like you don't like what you heard or saw or feel. And you're really bothered by it. It is something that bothers you. But again, it's like you don't have the full picture and all the information. So try to avoid conflict if you can here. Just making sure that you have the full story there, Capricorn. The next card that we have is the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, courage. This I think is important. So especially if you're in a relationship, we need to be respecting ourselves and making sure we're being treated correctly. But this is also about respecting others. So again, try not to jump to conclusions or kind of have those hasty, uncomfortable thoughts. Self-love, self-respect, unconditional love. It's funny because it's coming through as courage with this card, but it's really almost like more about having the patience to find out the information that you need. Okay, Capricorn, let's move into our fifth and final column now, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide. This is some sort of advice or guidance to carry into the end of the year with you, so next few weeks. We have the card Influence. I really like the card Influence, probably one of my favorite ones in these deck. And I like it for two reasons because it has two messages. One of them is it's such a good reminder of how much you can influence, and then the other meaning is like reminding you to focus on things that you can influence. So you can influence a lot, but only focus on those things you can influence. Let's go ahead and take a look though and see what messages we have coming through here. The first card that we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is very gossipy. It's a card of drama. It's a card of like water cooler talk. It's like people trying to mind your business too. In general, it's just gossipy and not necessarily the best in terms of communication. I wonder if this could be tying into it's like not hearing the full story. But again, when I see this card, I always tell people like try and stay away from the gossip, try and stay away from the drama. The truth is going to come out with this card, but it's like a matter of waiting for the truth. The next card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of delayed success, waiting, patience. You see this person planted their pentacles and they're waiting for them to grow. So it's very much so kind of that same energy. But it's again, waiting patiently for the information. Stay away from the drama, stay away from the gossip, but wait to find out whatever information you do need to find out. At the bottom here, we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. You see this person is blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but yet all these swords are stuck in the ground around them. And this person can very easily wiggle back and cut themselves free. So again, this is an important reminder to be focused on things that we have influence over. We don't have influence over people trying to mind your business and gossiping, but we do have influence over patiently waiting. We do have influence over not involving ourselves. So again, keep influence top of mind there. Looking through our clarifiers, the first clarifier we have is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a card of worry, a card of isolation. I think when we hear like the gossip and the drama and the rumors and all of that, it does kind of stir worry. But again, keeping to yourself, sticking with isolation, I think is going to be the best piece to do. Again, you can't control others, but you can control your own actions with that influence card. The next card that we have is the Chariot. This is the Vroom Vroom card. It means action, change. It's about being on a journey. You are going to find out the information you need to know. You are going to find out what you need. Again, it's just about being patient. At the bottom, we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of self-defense and having to protect yourself against competition. I feel like you'll almost like have to do more defending or like damage control if you get involved versus just kind of staying out of the weeds here in this situation. So even if you hear something and you so badly want to defend it or defend yourself, again, I would just kind of lay low and stay away from it if I could. Focusing on what I can influence, not what other people are doing. Okay, at this time, Capricorn, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quickly. But question number 1, we have the 8 of spades. This is number 32 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Ace of Diamonds. This is number 9 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the 7 of clubs. This is number 20 card. That's going to be a yes. So yes, no, yes for you there, Capricorn. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of December. Your crystal is rock quartz, which is clear quartz. It's good for clarity, purity, energy. It helps you do things in your own time, in your own way. It really gives you that aim and focus for life. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. We can all always use more healing. Your Healing Note says, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening, Capricorn. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year.